Welcome to part 58 of the Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg, where we explore true crime, urban legends, mysterious disappearances, myths and legends, internet mysteries, and more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Seriously, I'm out here uploading almost daily, and I want all you getting those notifications. The disappearance of Nico Lissi. On September 30th, 2011, 18-year-old Nico Anthony Lissi disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Nico was last seen in Addison, New York, accompanied by his friend Robert Nicholas Neal Knight. The pair visited Nico's uncle around 2 p.m., informing him they planned to go to Buffalo, New York, possibly for a camping trip. They were driving a gray 2004 GMC Canyon pickup truck, which Knight claimed belonged to his grandfather. However, it was later revealed that the truck was stolen. The next significant event in the timeline occurred on October 1st, 2011. Surveillance footage captured Nico and Knight at a Wegmans in Rochester, New York, early that morning. Later, Knight arrived at his parents' home in Romulus, Michigan, without Nico. He told his family that Nico had dropped him off, but nobody witnessed this. That same day, Nico's phone pinged for the last time from Flintlock Drive in Franklin, Tennessee, around 4:08 p.m. This location was familiar to Nico, as he had lived in Franklin for a brief period in 2009. Nico's mother received his driver's license in the mail on October 3, 2011. It had been found on a street in Hornell, New York, and mailed to her anonymously. Concerned by this strange occurrence and her inability to contact her son, she reported him missing on October 5, 2011. On October 8, 2011, police questioned Knight in Michigan regarding Nico's disappearance. This is where the case took a truly bizarre and unusual turn. During the interview, Knight's erratic and bizarre behavior led to a recommendation for a psychiatric evaluation, after which he was hospitalized and released the next day. On October 10, 2011, Knight was found deceased at his parents' home from a suspected substance overdose. Investigations into Nico's disappearance faced several challenges, including the deaths of potential witnesses. Knight's father passed away in 2012, and his brother died in 2018. These losses complicated efforts to gather information from Knight's family about Nico's fate. A breakthrough came in July 2016 when authorities located the stolen GMC Canyon in a garage in Nashville, Tennessee. However, as yet, this does not appear to have led to any significant leads in this case. Nico's mother, Monica Button, has been relentless in her search for answers. She has conducted her own investigations, visited Tennessee multiple times, and maintained a public presence to keep Nico's case in the spotlight. Despite these efforts, Nico's whereabouts remain unknown, and his case is still classified as an active missing persons case. If you have any information whatsoever about the disappearance of Nico Lissi, please contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Your information may hold the key to resolving this missing persons case and bringing peace to Nico's family. This is a suggestion by YouTube member Crazy Diamond. As always, remember to leave your suggestions in the Discord server or in the comments. The Great Smog of London. In December 1952, London experienced one of the most severe environmental disasters in its history, known as the Great Smog. Over a period of 5 days, from December 5th to December 9th, toxic smog enveloped the city, bringing it to a near standstill. The smog likely resulted from a combination of natural fog and pollutants, primarily from coal burning. Notably, the exact cause of the Great Smog and the extremely unlucky confluence of factors is still not fully known. During the early 20th century, coal was the main source of heat in London homes and the primary fuel for industrial processes. As a result, The air was often filled with soot and sulfur dioxide. A cold spell in December 1952 caused Londoners to burn more coal than usual, leading to an increase in airborne pollutants. A high-pressure weather system created an inversion layer that trapped these pollutants close to the ground, preventing them from dispersing. The smog reduced visibility to a few feet, making transportation nearly impossible. Boats on the River Thames were immobilized, flights were grounded, and trains were canceled. Drivers were forced to use headlights during the day, and many abandoned their vehicles altogether. Pedestrians navigated the streets with great difficulty, often feeling their way along buildings to avoid obstacles. Public transport, except for the London Underground, ceased operations, and the ambulance service was suspended. The smog infiltrated indoor spaces, leading to the closure of theaters and the cancellation of outdoor events. Even indoor activities were disrupted as visibility inside buildings dropped significantly. The health impact of the smog was devastating. Hospitals were overwhelmed with patients suffering from respiratory issues, and undertakers ran out of coffins. Initially, it was estimated that around 4,000 people died due to the smog. However, subsequent studies have suggested that the actual number of fatalities could be as high as 12,000. Further, a contemporary estimate indicated that over 100,000 people were injured in some capacity as a result of the smog. Many of these deaths were attributed to respiratory infections and hypoxia caused by the smog. There are numerous stories from those who lived through the Great Smog. People described it as feeling like they were blind, unable to see their own feet. The smog was so thick that conductors had to walk in front of buses with flashlights to guide drivers. At night, the smog was so impenetrable that even familiar streets became treacherous. Some people resorted to wearing smog masks purchased from pharmacists, while others simply stayed indoors. Several theories have emerged about the long-term impact of the Great Smog. It has been suggested that the smog not only caused immediate health issues, but also had lasting effects on public health. Under this theory, the Great Smog event contributed to increased rates of respiratory diseases in the years following the event. Additionally, some researchers have proposed that the smog may have influenced environmental policies worldwide, serving as a catalyst for modern environmentalism. The immediate aftermath of the smog saw a slow governmental response. It was only after a thorough investigation that the true extent of the disaster became apparent. In response, the British government passed the Clean Air Act of 1956, which aimed to reduce air pollution by controlling the burning of coal and establishing smoke-free zones in urban areas. This legislation marked a significant step towards cleaner air in the UK and inspired similar measures globally. Notably, present-day scientists and historians are attempting to study modern Great Smog-type events in the developing world to better understand this anomaly. The disappearance of Patricia Meehan. On the night of April 20th, 1989, 37-year-old Patricia Meehan was involved in a near head-on collision on Highway 200 near Circle, Montana. Witnesses reported that after the crash, Meehan appeared disoriented, climbed over a fence, and walked into a nearby field, disappearing into the vast Montana landscape. Prior to her disappearance, Meehan had been experiencing significant psychological stress and had an appointment with a psychologist scheduled for the day after she vanished. The initial search for Meehan was extremely extensive. Authorities tracked her footprints for approximately 3/4 of a mile from the crash site until they vanished. The search involved local volunteers, helicopters, and even investigations into nearby abandoned coal mines, but no trace of Meehan was found. Her family distributed over 2,000 flyers and engaged the local community in the search efforts. Over 5,000 sightings of a woman resembling Meehan have been reported across various states, including Montana, Washington, South Dakota, and Minnesota. Some of the more notable sightings occurred in the weeks following her disappearance. On May 4th, 1989, a police officer in Luverne, Minnesota, reported seeing a woman who matched Meehan's description at a Hardee's restaurant. The woman was described as disoriented and refused to give her name. Additional sightings were reported in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Murdo, South Dakota, where witnesses described a woman matching Meehan's description acting nervously. This woman was also seen apparently speaking with herself. Another significant sighting took place on May 19, 1989, in Bozeman, Montana, where a waitress reported seeing Meehan having breakfast in a hurried manner. She was also reportedly seen at a horse auction in Billings around the same time. By June 1989, over 25 sightings had been reported, and 3 were confirmed by police. Theories about Meehan's disappearance range from her suffering from amnesia due to the crash to her living a transient lifestyle. However, despite numerous reported sightings, no definitive evidence has surfaced to confirm her whereabouts. Swagatha Christie's disappearance. On December 3, 1926, Agatha Christie, the renowned mystery novelist, vanished from her home in Sunningdale, Berkshire. Over the next 11 days, a nationwide manhunt ensued, drawing in thousands of police officers, volunteers, and even the famous author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Christie's disappearance occurred during a turbulent period in her personal life. Her mother had passed away earlier that year, leaving her deeply distraught. Additionally, her marriage to Archibald Christie was falling apart due to his affair with Nancy Neal, his secretary. On the day she disappeared, Agatha and Archie had a heated argument, after which Archie left to spend the weekend with friends, including Nancy Neal. Not very subtle at all, Archie. Kind of a jerk move, to be honest. Later that evening, Agatha left her home, leaving behind a letter for Archie which he burned, arousing further suspicion. The following morning, Christie's car was found abandoned near a chalk quarry in Guildford. The headlights were on, and her belongings, including a suitcase and coat, were inside. This discovery led to widespread speculation and the launch of an extensive search operation. Authorities even dredged a nearby pond, known as the Silent Pool, but found no clues. Some believed she had met with foul play, while others speculated it was a publicity stunt for her latest book. The possibility of her suffering from amnesia or having a psychological breakdown was also considered. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle handed one of Christie's gloves to a medium in a bid to locate her, but to no avail. On December 14, 1926, Christie was found at the Swan Hydropathic Hotel in Harrogate, Yorkshire. She was registered under the name Teresa Neal, a curious choice given that Neal was the surname of her husband's lover. She claimed to have no recollection of who she was or how she ended up there. Her husband Archie traveled to Harrogate to retrieve her, and she appeared not to recognize him. The true reasons behind Christie's disappearance remain a matter of speculation. Some suggest she experienced a fugue state, a rare psychological condition involving amnesia and travel. Others believe she orchestrated the disappearance to embarrass her unfaithful husband. Still others have proposed more esoteric explanations for her disappearance. Some have suggested that she may have been abducted by aliens or entered into some sort of higher spiritual state. Both these explanations are intended to explain her extremely prolific career after this event. Agatha Christie herself never publicly discussed the incident, and it remained a closely guarded secret for the rest of her life. After returning home, Christie divorced Archie and remarried in 1930 to archaeologist Max Mallowan. She continued her writing career, eventually becoming one of the best-selling novelists of all time. This mystery was recommended independently by Discord users Hachiseiko and Boluston II. The Lemp Mansion. The Lemp Mansion, located in St. Louis, Missouri, is a historic home steeped in mystery, tragedy, and paranormal lore. Originally built in the 1860s by Jacob Fikert, the mansion became the residence of the prominent Lemp family in 1876 when it was purchased by William J. Lemp. The Lemps were the owners of the Lemp Brewery, an extremely successful business venture. This grand house, containing 33 rooms, served not only as the family home but also as additional office space for the brewery. The Lemp family patriarch, Johann Lemp, immigrated from Germany in 1838 and initially opened a grocery store. He soon shifted focus to brewing beer, introducing German lager to St. Louis, and founding what would become a brewing empire. After Johann's death in 1862, his son William Lemp Sr. took over, transforming the brewery into one of the largest in the world, producing 900,000 barrels a year by the late 19th century. At its peak, the Lemp Brewery covered 5 city blocks and was a dominant force in the local beer market. However, the early 20th century brought significant challenges, including the mysterious death of William Lemp Sr.'s favorite son, Frederick, in 1901. This event marked the beginning of a series of family tragedies. The Lemp family is infamous for the numerous tragic events that befell its members, many of which occurred within the mansion itself. After Frederick's passing, William Lemp Sr. succumbed to his grief in 1904. His son, William Lemp Jr., inherited the business but struggled to maintain its success, especially during Prohibition, which forced the brewery to close in 1919. Elsa Lemp, William Jr.'s sister, one of the wealthiest women in St. Louis, died under mysterious circumstances in 1920. The official cause was ruled a self-ending incident, but some speculate it may have been a slaying. William Jr. himself met a tragic end in 1922, and the last Lemp to live in the mansion, Charles Lemp, died in the house in 1949. The mansion's tragic history has fueled numerous stories of hauntings and paranormal activity. Visitors and employees have reported hearing unexplained noises, seeing apparitions, and experiencing other eerie phenomena. The mansion is often cited as one of the most haunted places in America, with various spirits believed to still inhabit its rooms. Betsy Burnett Belanger, the official paranormal investigator and historian for the Lemp Mansion, asserts that there are multiple spirits present in the house. These include members of the Lemp family, whose sudden and tragic demises have left them earthbound, guests staying in the mansion's opulent suites, named after various Lemp family members, often report ghostly encounters, particularly in the William and Charles Lemp suites. Today, the Lemp Mansion operates as a bed and breakfast, restaurant, and event venue. The mansion hosts haunted tours, mystery dinner theaters, and offers a glimpse into the opulent yet tragic past of the Lemp family. The Dundas Island Blackfly. The Dundas Island Blackfly is a cryptid reported to inhabit Dundas Island, located off the coast of British Columbia, Canada. Also, quick aside, I love saying Dundas Island Blackfly, so I'm going to be saying Dundas Island Blackfly a lot here, since I don't think I'll have much opportunity to use it again. The alleged habitat of the Dundas Island Blackfly is mainly the dense forest and coastal areas of Dundas Island. This remote and relatively uninhabited island provides an ideal environment for the blackflies to thrive. This creature is described as a large insect, growing up to 6 inches in length, and predominantly black in color. Unique to this fly cryptid are its gruesome feeding habits, as it is said to both consume the flesh and drink the blood of its prey. The origins of the Dundas Island blackfly stories date back to indigenous folklore. The native people of the region have long spoken of a fearsome flying insect, referring to it as a flying devil, or flying demon, in translation. These stories were later adopted by European settlers who encountered the native tribes and heard these frightening tales. The Dundas Island blackfly is reputed to possess several terrifying abilities. It is highly aggressive and relentless in its pursuit of prey, capable of hunting for hours without giving up. The flies reportedly use their sharp mouth parts to tear into the flesh of their victims, simultaneously feeding on both blood and tissue. Another notable feature of the Dundas Island blackfly is its venomous sting. Some accounts suggest that these flies have stingers located on their abdomens, capable of injecting venom into their victims. This venom is said to cause intense pain and swelling, adding to the horror of an encounter with these insects. The venom's effects, coupled with the fly's voracious feeding habits, can lead to severe injuries or even death for larger animals and potentially humans. Despite the fearsome reputation, there is a lack of physical evidence to support the existence of the Dundas Island blackfly. Personally, I just found this one so interesting in my research because while bugs are amongst the most common life forms on Earth, there are virtually never bug cryptids reported. Anyway, I'm going to take a moment here to toss out a request for bug cryptids that you know about. Please let me know in the comments below or join the Discord and discuss them directly with both me and the community as a whole. Jimmy here. Hope you've enjoyed part 58 of this ever-expanding Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This really helps my channel grow and allows me to dedicate substantial time and effort to producing content. Check out the Spotify and Apple Music link in the description and follow my channel for relaxing lo-fi beats. Make sure to check out the YouTube membership and Patreon. You can support my channel for as little as 99 cents a month. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Iced Mocha, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, Jeffer Metcalf, Z-Volts, Director Delta, Unknown Delusions, Faye, Jack Russell, Boomslang, Spooky as Becky, Vespertine, Metanova, Will Roan, and Blasphemous. Special shout out to new Patreon shout out tier member Crab Nebula. Also, big shout out to YouTube member Jordan All. Until next time, stay safe and healthy, and don't let the Dundas Island blackflies bite. Peace out, everyone.